everyone, this is Greyshot17 bringing you another CH2 replay. This is a 2v2 on Poltawa submitted by Patreon supporter. Why do you know that it was made by Patreon supporter? Well, I do Patreon supporter replays on Saturdays. Again, as well as, doesn't have to have the highest tier, it could be any B4 supporter higher. But that being said, RNG gods get priority. Why? Because they support the channel. And you can support the channel by hitting that like, subscribe button. And again, you can go the extra mile by going to my Patreon, early access videos, special Discord access, vote in movie polls where movies I get to subject myself to. Just watch Calling of the Wild before doing this replay, and by God, that was an experience. You know, just in perspective, you see a lot of shitty movies. It really puts perspective how a good movie is. Look, I'm not trying to be like, oh, I watch pure shit, so I know good stuff, but literally, when you're watching bottom tier trash, it does put in perspective how good Dr. Sleep or Crawl or Ford v Ferrari, Nights Out, Jojo Rabbit, how amazing those films are compared to literally generic and or below average garbage. So anyway, you're here for Co2 action, which you can submit greyshotproductions@gmail.com or my Discord. Again, links down below for Patreon, all that stuff. There, all the spiel is complete. Let's see what both sides are doing. We got Ranger, we got Sanguine, we got Thunderstroke, which sounds like that sounds like a masturbation method that a giant would use. But anyway, I digress. We got General Field Marshal. Okay, interesting. Well, anyway, he went with Lightning War, so upgrade infantry in that. Thunderstroke, Quick Grand Defensive Doctrine. Again, good infantry upgrade, support, and Tiger. Ranger went with Guard Rifles. So good mix, good close range, long range, artillery, heavy tank. A lot of really good things. Some really good, some average. Like, I think the KV-1 is fine, but, like, the guards are fantastic. Anyway, it looks like the Germans have captured their point. So, very good job. They got both of those. They're also grabbing mid. Not going for the fuel yet, but they are laying down some defensive, or, like, they're trying to pull back to a more defensive location. They do have an MG here, but, again, you can always see a grenade or something be thrown from that direction. Soviets have an MG, conscripts, and support, so they'll try to beat back the Germans with support equipment. Meanwhile, General Marshal has his own, again, Grenadiers, MG, and mortar. Nice, decent variety. Not too shabby. Wow, already pushing on in. Volk Squad's coming up from behind the Soviets. Really good job. Unfortunately, he did see that coming and did reposition. But so are additional Grenadiers. They're all annihilating. Oh my God. Poor Ranger. Being focused, can they kill the MG? That's the question. It's very, very low. Super low. Probably will escape, though. And now oh my God, the Dushka in the base now going to open fire. Of all things. But that will keep the Allies back and all the access to capture their own territory. Again, it's very risky to do something like that. Also, if you're wondering how they came through this way, I'm suspecting that little area. It doesn't look like it's entirely blocked off, so they could probably slip through still. But anyway, yeah, the MG is still going to probably fire at some of these guys. Fire's coming down, Volk Squad's barely alive, and dies the conscripts. Again, the problem with bit pushes like this is since they're so close to the enemy base, people like to hold. There's a good chance of some units dying, and yeah, you really need to retreat that. Let's double check everyone's rank real quick to see if we can laugh at them or not. Nope. We can't say they're that low, so everyone here's at least played a few hundred hours of this game, so you can't say neither side is terrible. One guy should have retreated, absolutely. Really good placement, and again, pulling back, coming in from multiple angles, trying to remove that cover bonus. And it worked out. Looks like the Allies were able to hold the fuel under constant fire. MGs can suppress the Royal Engineers, but British infantry get the kill right there, so great shot on them. Snipers being deployed by Sanguine. Again, if I had to assume, he's getting that to counteract the MG in the building, and as well, he's building cover to kind of hold this sector. Sanguine is going very defensive as the Brits in this round, and honestly, it's working out. He held out against an attack that probably should have broke him, but hey, good job there. Meanwhile, the Soviets have reinforced this position again. They place a mine here to stop them, so even if they come around, that's better, because again, it'll allow the infantry to come through. Most likely, they're not going to block it, but what they will end up doing is hitting a mine and losing a lot of their attack from it. A lot of conscripts being made by Ranger, which again, PPSH upgrades, definitely possible. And it's not exactly something you have to wait till like 10 or 20 minutes to get. literally he'll probably get in the next minute. So, hey, a decent amount of time. It could be a little better, but hey, he might actually as well kill this unit. Very, very, very close, but no cigar. Meanwhile, conscripts are continuing their advance, capturing some more capture points. Needed, as the allies currently don't have much compared to the Axis, though. Them capturing that point, as well as everything else, seems to have reconnected everything, made resources as good as gold now, and right now tied with the Axis. So, evenly spread. Axis forces are pushing in along the right once again, assuming trying to flank this guy. They can also throw an incendiary, like, right over here, and use that as cover. So, just a heads up. MG opening fire, but is very low on health. Again, I'm assuming something is focusing on it. Mortar pit, most likely. There's a guy inside, so that means faster fire rate. Again, fortifications have a bonus you can use, but I understand why you don't want to use it. The reason is simple. The reason you don't use it anymore is because it doesn't get the forward assembly boost, so it's not native. Universal Carrier hiding behind cover. Might block some of the shots. Actually does! Universal Carrier is surviving because of the cover. When a Universal Carrier is using cover to survive, and it's at least alive for right now, it can be recruited. And the scout car fucks off. But I almost guarantee this thing will be back up and running in no time. Attacking the British. Again, no AT there. British also grabbing that capture point. This one's decapped again, which is cutting off allied resources. We can see the cutoff actually going straight through. So yeah, that's why the allies are so low in resources. They just keep going for the cutoff. Not a bad idea. Really, really smart. Again, focus on certain fronts. Make sure you eliminate it. But right now, I'm seeing a very, very small, diminishing German assault force with General not having a lot. And then Thunderstroke just really stroking his ego by those constant assaults. But they keep backfiring majorly by losing infantry on the retreat and everything else. I'm assuming the scout car died. Yeah, scout car charged. Rail engineers just threw an AT grenade, I assume, and murdered it. So, good job there. Yeah, Germans really keeping up the pressure a little bit too long. Needs to definitely pull on back. MG lighting his ass up. AT gun, mortar, let's see, conscripts. All looking pretty damn good across the board. And they are taking a little more territory. Sure, the Germans are doing a lot of deep strikes, but they're taking heavy casualties. Again, I understand why you want to go in for that strike, but it's better to keep units alive for another fight than to lose them in a pointless effort. Panzer Grenadiers over here. Are they going to take a Universal Carrier? Are they seriously going to take this? Sure. Why not? We have a Universal Carrier on the German side. I really want to know the German crew inside being like, look what we found, Fritz! Fritz, I don't think that was a good idea. I didn't expect it to blow up so quickly. But hey, good job, Sniper. You got a vehicle kill. Even though it was your own vehicle. So is that friendly fire? Does that count as friendly fire? I don't know. But we also have Sanguine going double mortar pit. That's a very risky. Does he have... Okay, he does have advanced placement. He could fortify. Keep them alive longer from artillery fire and other things that could possibly hit them. Again, the Germans theoretically don't have that. They have double Tiger. But the Allies don't know that. The Allies still... Again, well, I take that back. They know this guy went Panzerfusileer, so they know he at least went with Breakthrough and or, oh, what is it called? Again, strategic, is it strategic? No, Grand Offensive. Jesus, I always get them mixed up. Minesweepers, try to make sure they don't blow up again. Somehow they did. So good job there. But anyway, the German guy, he has G43s. I don't think there's a G43 artillery one offhand. So actually, never mind. Well, no, if he actually went Breakthrough, he could technically call an assault artillery, which would be a lot of damage. If he extra defense would definitely keep them alive, even if they had a bad brace. But, alright. We'll see how they do. Anyway, mortar pits are firing. Rapid fire, baby. Holy crap. They're just launching mortars left and right. Can the Axis are pressing, though, and trying to take territory. Engineer trying to push up, but the flamethrower unit is just... Also, again, they're firing from in the mortar pit. So don't think that they're in a fortification like that. They're not going to fire. They will fire, and they will kick your ass. Or they'll just kill... How many of these guys are going to die before this guy realizes? How many? How freaking many? Sniper putting a shot on target. British infantry trying to hold. Royal engineers going on and doing quite a bit of damage. actually pushing him back. And again, they actually counteract the MG over here with by the sheer ferocity and the amount of mortars coming down. Another flank coming on in. Hey, remember in World War I where the Italians kept launching the battle of like there was a specific river that literally they kept attacking over and over and over and over and over again? No joke, there was like 10 battles of this fucking river for the Italians to take. And then the Austrians came in and literally took it all in like a single battle. No, it was a very... It probably... Again, a lot of really stupid things the Italian army did. But, again... you have to give it to the Austrians, especially after their performance in, well, Serbia, Russia, everywhere, essentially. They were... Austria-Hungary is the Italy of World War I. It is by far. And the fun fact is they started the bloody war, not the Germans, which people forget. I always laugh when people they're like, "Oh my god, did you know, like doing history and be like, yeah, Germany started both world wars?" And I'm just like, no, they didn't. Like, they definitely escalated it greatly and definitely did a lot more stuff in the war to win the war than the Austrians. The Austrians just kick the ball down the hill. Stuka bombs, speaking of which, coming down, and MG still alive. It's also like the, oh god. Okay, fun fact. So Time Goes put up a video about World War One. Not World War One. Alternate history of World War II during the Civil War of Spain beforehand to see like, okay, how could the Republicans win? All right, don't put Franco. Okay, how do you and keep his troops out? All right. How do you do that? I had no idea this was even a thing. Also, great mind. Apparently, there was this actual thing. Oh my god, really great minds. Apparently, didn't get the memo. Again, more casualties for General. Jesus. Mortars now coming down. Anyway, I want to tell the story. So that the head of the revolution for the fascists on the Spanish side, to keep things brief, literally died in a plane crash. You're like, Greyshot, he was shot down by anti-air. No, the dumbass literally was told, listen, your luggage is too heavy. You cannot take this on this biplane. And the guy's like, these are the clothes of essentially, the future president of Spain. That's essentially is what he was trying to say. And literally the motherfucker died because he didn't want to take his luggage or change the plane. He's like, I like this plane. Literally, and I quote, was the guy called it the dumbest motherfucking plane crash in history. And I'm like, you know, after learning that, not wrong. That's hilarious. That is why when your airplane suitcase is 50 pounds or more, the airline's like, no, get it under 50 pounds. Not for other stupid reasons. It's mainly because of him. So blame a Spanish dictator as to why you can't bring anything over 50 pounds on a plane. That's the excuse. Whether it's true or not, that's up for you to decide. Anyway, so while I've been talking about this, I've been kind of sugarcoating this game because right now, General just keeps losing so many men. He has 4 squads, and it's 13 minutes in the game. Theoretically, he should, oh man, he should have 2,600 manpower, roughly, more or less, depending. Okay, probably, we'll say 3,000. 3,000 manpower, I think, is a better estimate. And what is he deployed? Like, what, 25% of it is still on the field? Oh my god, this Volk squad's gonna die, isn't it? Oh my, the mortars, the mines, the Germans! Oh my god, they're being eviscerated. Alright, the problem though is the Allies only have 2 VPs, so they're not winning by a huge margin, and the Germans did capture another point for quite some time. I love the mines this guy's been placing just all over the goddamn place, and it's working. It's, by god, it has been working. They have minesweepers now. Also, General is, oh, good bundle grenade knocking out the MG42. That was, you know, well, they'll get it back. Oh, sorry, the Allies will probably claim it. We have a Centaur on the field because, well, they think, well, the enemy only has infantry. Well, we know General's getting a Panzer IV. This guy got Stuka, so we know it's going to be a little bit of time. I also like, is he placing mines? He is. He's placing mines. Okay, fun fact, I don't think the Allies will really fall for that because they have minesweepers all over the place. But whatever. We'll see what happens. They still have mid. There is a small, yep, he's still cleaning up mines over here, but that's keeping the engineers busy. Maybe they can kill him. Another mortar pit? Did they? Oh, they destroyed them. I believe they knocked out the mortar pits themselves, because this doesn't look like they've been constantly under fire. I think he literally tore them up. Which is actually, again, if you need to get rid of them, I do like the ability that you have them removed. And again, that way they're not doing nothing in the back. He's moving it up slowly, so Sanguine at least is a little more active British fortification player. If only the French could have been like, well, let's see, why don't we advance into Germany and move the Maginot Line behind us? Like a mobile Maginot. Think about that. Impossible. Unfortunately, that conscript squad also, he found it impossible to live from that Suka bomb. Anyway, great sniper, AT grenade, and Centaur of all things actually doing a decent amount of damage to that unit. Sniper pulling on back though. Panzer Grenadiers with Panzerschrecks moving on in. He needs something to help it. Ally though looks like might be trying to come in to help. Again, upgrade with PPSHs and there. I can't say it. DP machine guns, DP rifles. I can't talk. Literally firing long range. So at least he has the AT capabilities to fight the Panzer IV, and as well the close range to deal with Panzer Grenadiers. So good across the board, I would say. He should be fine. Meanwhile, we got Panzerfusiliers opening fire on this guy. Looks like did a little damage. They both the Panzerfusiliers have a little more veterancy to them. At least Thunderstroke, god damn that name, is at least, you know, has some more veterancy to him. But nice grenade by the guards. Again, he's not paying attention to dodge it. Panzer IV is barely making out. Again, AT gun kind of came up to help, so good job, Ranger. And guards will hold that position. So at the very least, the Allies will have the munitions back in their territory. Axis, with limited men, actually still advancing, grabbing territory. And it looks like generals finally realized not killing yourself is actually a good idea. Because he's not sacrificing his men for no freaking reason. And he might actually commit some forces to actually do a decent fight. Man, that would be incredible, now wouldn't it? That's my hope. Anyway, the engineer squad might not live, honestly. It's so close to dying, and British infantry squads are probably going to murder it. He hasn't upgraded them? Good kill. Man, I spoke too soon about him not losing units. Holy crap. But in any case, at least the Allies will get back their fuel and everything else. Middle, the Panzer IV is being repaired. We have some AT, actually a lot of AT. So any Allied armor is going to have some issues. At least Thunderstroke is doing a lot of damage with his Stuka. So he is constantly calling stuff in. He is doing quite a bit. So yeah, he has that. He's upgraded. He's getting almost done. He's upgrading his base as well. So at the very least, he'll be able to get armor out a little bit sooner and also defend that area. Compared to other people I know and I've seen in games recently, and also supposedly very good players that didn't upgrade their base, and I'm like, smart play of you. Very smart play. You gonna get armor anytime soon? Anyway, General's back in mid. Sanguine is getting a Cromwell to assist him. Ranger has got himself a KV-1. Not a bad idea. Can take a lot of hits, specifically from Panzerschrecks and Panzer IVs. Not so much from Panthers, but because they penetrate, but everything else is a harder time, which could keep it in the fight and help kill this stuff. Unfortunately, this brace of the Panzerschrecks won't do that much. Infantry swarming on in, including units with PPSHs for close range combat, and guys that do not have DPs yet, but still not bad. They are a lot better with DPs, a hell of a lot better. But that's a lot of munitions he's currently using on all that stuff, so I get why he doesn't have it yet. Meanwhile, almost done. And Panzerfusiliers moving on in. He doesn't have any upgrades for them yet, nor in development, but again, not a lot of munitions coming in for the Germans, only about 37. Stuka is coming in, though. He's moving out his forces, trying to reorganize. Does hit the guard troops, though, and Panzerfusiliers get a nice kill right there, so credit where credit's due. Nice wipe. It looks like Ranger was trying to move his men, but didn't get the one unit that was actually coming down on. Good job, Cromwell and Centaur cleaning up the Pioneer. Can we kill another Pioneer squad? Mortars coming on in. That mortar pit, by the way, is still alive and doing, I mean, not amazing, but it's still alive. If we get another volley, it's dead. Oh, escape. Damn it. I wanted another squad by General to die. Man, somehow having a better, still has a better KD than the Italians and Austrian Hungarians. So, there's that. But anyway, British infantry moving on to mid. Let's see. There's some like, look. The good news is at the very least, Thunderstroke is providing some support and getting some decent kills. The British have yet to upgrade, which is a big factor. He did put a lot of munitions, which, sorry, a lot of his munitions into mines, and he hasn't put down any caches yet. So allies still a little low. I think a cache would really help them out, and also maybe here, so that way the enemy can't grab the point and decap you. I think that would be extremely helpful in order to keep this battlefield going. But what could the allies do? Well, not lose the Cromwell, that's for starters. The Panzer Grenadiers are gonna, again, right now is the only frontline unit. I think if you focus on them, you're in a golden. I think the British, what they need to do is have actually some more frontline infantry or something that can at least keep the distance between the armor and the Panzer Grenadiers. You have that and the armor and support, Panzer Grenadiers stand no chance. No chance whatsoever. Centaur is still there. Panzer IV could engage. KV-1 is on the right. Panzerwerfers, though, coming on in. We can see the, again, I said artillery, but I wasn't thinking about rocket artillery. Absolutely feasible for them to try to hit the Beaufort with it. Not Beaufort, the fortifications. Does he have actually? He hasn't gotten the upgrade yet, so he could get a Beaufort. But hitting the fortifications with artillery of rocket variety rather than the actual heavy emplacement variety. So I guess we'll see if that comes to fruition, if that rocket artillery is enough to do enough damage, or not enough in general. Anyway, grenades going off. He instantly retreats, so again, he's keeping an eye on his units. Not a lot of units, though. He's definitely taking some casualties, but he still has a good chunk. Axis, though, have come back. They're getting mostly armor, though. Grenade going off. Nice bundle grenade. Does a ton of damage versus the the conscript squad. Pencil Fusilier trying to finish him off. Now he's focusing on conscript. Probably won't do that much. Oh, great shot by the KV-1. Kills 2 models on the retreat. So, good hit right there. Again, problem would be against a major armored unit like a Panzer IV or something. Sniper is engaging that, by the way, up to 14 kills. Trying its hardest to kill that Pioneer squad before it decaps. Does have some units on the front. At the very least, they can keep them from firing on the Centaur. The Centaur can keep just shredding them. Now, good job. They are moving on in, capturing over the point. Conscripts moving on in, at least covering this. Not bad, pushing him back. Meanwhile, for Kenwerfer's right there. Conscript squad's going in on it, okay, forcing them back, so at least we'll be able to grab that point. We do have armor coming on in, being a Panther. Thunderstroke is bringing out the big guns. And again, right now, the Allies doesn't exactly have too much to stop said Panther in terms of an armor fight. He's getting a Cromwell and AT gun. Again, in combo, sure, but neither of them by themselves can really fight it. Unless they get very lucky. Like Cromwell getting in some rear shots or an AT gun getting lucky with some pens. Again, but it'll take a long time without the Panther firing back or, you know, or anything. But looks like Ranger might actually be cutting that narrative in half because we're seeing the AT gun open and fire. Panther's pulling on back, trying to deal with all the infantry. Surprised AT grenades weren't thrown at the Panther. Because you figure they would try to neutralize it. Why is that? He has no upgrade. Ranger, come on. It's 23 minutes in the game. Get your AT upgrade. Ah, Beaufort's about to die. God dang it. Oh, well. It survived pretty long, I would say. It tried its best. It did decently well. There is a Panzer IV pulling on back. I'm assuming the AT gun got a shot or two on it. And drove it away. Although its veterancy is very low, so maybe not. Maybe it'll just... Oh, they are using it to capture the point. Meanwhile, we have the Ostwind in mid, but the Allies are still having the point, which is making the ticking time clock go against the Axis in this capacity. Right now, army composition-wise, it's still actually pretty even. Germans have come back in a decent way, mostly due to their armor. The Axis actually have a decent amount of armor on the field with the Stuka, Panther, Panzer IV, every other rocket artillery or anti-air on the field. Their army-wise is increasing as well. Thunderstroke is mass-producing a lot of heavy infantry, with Obersoldaten getting upgraded with SG-44s, or Panzerfusiliers being upgraded with G-43 rifles. So very good combo. Again, close and long, although these things are also pretty good at medium range as well. So good at, I would say, maybe even all. But yeah, definitely still something you need to worry about. Anyway, Reckenwerfer opening fire on the KV-1. I think the shot didn't do... Oh, it bounced. I want to say it bounced. Meanwhile, Conscript Squad putting pressure on this AT gun, hitting it. Panzer Grenadiers going in on target. Cromwell trying to get the heck out of there. Armor is slowly being backed up by AT and at least pushing that armor back. There's an Su-85 here, so they can counteract the Panzer IV. Again, how effective that is, we shall see. Meanwhile, it looks like they're coming out on the flank. They might be trying to go after the armor and hit them on the side. Unfortunately, at this point, the Allies should know they're coming, so they should be able to reinforce the area with infantry and or just pull their armor back so they don't get hit. Unfortunately, when it's oh my god. Well, we got some friendly fire, so good job there. You killed actually a Panzer Grenadier squad, or model. Anyway, these guys will decap the point, which will cut off the Allied resources and put them severely down in overall totals. Anyway, infantry advancing, they're going to grab the munitions as well. So Allies, once again, very low overall in resources. Germans as well, not doing amazing, but if they can cut off the Allies, that's pretty good. But I see a good bundle grenade opportunity. Fortunately, he does have... Oh, wait, he does. He actually does have the munitions for it. We have an airstrike coming on in, so that will target this armor. Unfortunately, it's in the base, so I'm not entirely sure how effective those planes are going to be, and if they even have recon to spot said armor. The Centaur is most likely just going to fire some shots on them. Well, there goes one plane. We go return to sender. I'm surprised we're not seeing a return to sender. I'm really, really hoping for a return to sender. Dang it, Centaur did not shoot it down. Anyway, Panzerwerfer getting very close to the front. Most likely firing a huge barrage at this. Ranger realizes this and is like, yeah, I'm not falling for it, dude. Unfortunately, he's going to hit the armor, which I'm assuming he thought was repairing. This is where a recon would have been good, Thunder, to help out your ally. Meanwhile, Panzer IV and everything else is very low, so needs to definitely pull on back. There is artillery coming down on it, which I'm assuming is British artillery, if I have to assume. Or, okay, because this guy doesn't have any artillery himself. Anyway, Panzer Squad will overextend and die. Damn, that was a very, very good unit. Meanwhile, we got the Panther on the front, just trying to fire some pop shots. Centaur, again, still there. Infantry, those backing up. So, again, undefended. You might want to pull it back. Panther opening fire on the conscripts. Again, additional conscripts and guards troops moving on in on target. Again, good opportunity for AT grenades. We don't have them, which is, again, a bit weird. Infantry, though, close and long, can really start to push all these forces back. Unless he has an MG to suppress them. No AT. Su-85 still too far back to provide support. Probably should bring that up. We have a good chunk here. Again, why goes this? Centaur's good against infantry. Cromwell's good against all targets. And their focus is try to overwhelm these defenses like Reckenwerfers, Grenadiers, etc. At least he thinks that will be a good combo. Panzer Grenadiers could be an issue, though. There's a lot of AT there. They are going to fire. Looks like we have some decent shots. But the Centaur and Cromwell are doing too much. And doing exactly what they need to is doing a lot of damage to push back that anti-armor infantry. Meanwhile, a battle is taking place over here. KV-1, Su-85 trying to battle it out. Nice shot on the Su-85 as well as the KV-1. So good job there, at least pushing back the Soviet armor. Once again, General has lost a number of his men. Thunderstroke doing not as bad. Cervix Strike, though, going to change that story and just come on in and start wrecking. Remember, there's two planes, but they need sights to actually hit target. Also, a lot of German mines are there, so if the Allies do press, they could definitely hit some mines in a lot of very key locations for a push. So that would be something they need to worry about. Although, Sanguine's pushing up pretty damn well. Panzerwerfer coming on in, making sure they don't grab the AT gun, which I don't think has moved the entire time. I'm assuming General lost yeah, he did lose a Panzerschreck. He can't upgrade his men, so yeah, he definitely lost it. Panzer IV got Vet 2, so armored skirts, and Royal Engineer going to focus with the sniper on capturing the point rather than going off to engage a target that could very quickly be reinforced by additional infantry. British infantry section have been upgraded. Again, good idea. Definitely increases your damage output and survivability because you have the extra model. Meanwhile, Panzer is almost done, opening fire on the conscripts. Getting close, but the SCGs are too much, and the conscripts are still being torn apart, even at Vet 3. Yikes. Meanwhile, conscripts and guards troops opening fire, trying to keep the German infantry back. But bundle grenade, oh sorry, not bundle grenade, normal grenade being thrown does quite a bit of damage. Panther being hit by the Su-85, who also returns fire. Pudsful Slayer could get a T-grenade off if it gets close enough. Looks like I don't know what the hell that was grenade for. We also have some T-posing men. Airstrikes are coming in, hitting the armor in mid. Unfortunately, Centaur is hitting them, so it's going to reveal itself. So it may want to pull back because, again, if a run comes in, it could definitely target that infantry. Plane coming in, almost hitting the Verkenwerfer. Very, very close. But it looks like the armor on the British side will be just fine. Katusha and S-285 still hitting the Panther, pulling it back and knocking out, I want to say, the Verkenwerfer. So the Allies could take that as 18, which I think Ranger would need. Again, he has a good amount of tank destroyer, heavy armor against infantry, and, well, rocket artillery. Thunderstroke, though, has deployed a Tiger, so that will be a big threat. Combined now with the other German armor that the Axis have been doing decently well at, and we can see a big climactic battle happen in the middle of this map. Tiger tank focusing on the conscripts, push them back with ease. Panther, though, having some issues itself. Again, being very low. Nice defenses here, so if they try to capture it, they will explode. So the Germans are trying to get better at their game. Although, British coming, again, British and Ranger, Sinkweed, both of them, those guys are doing very, very well for themselves. Again, although we have the Soviets preparing to attack, Tigers coming on out. No infantry support once again. Big uh-oh. S-285 engaging. We can see a stun. They're trying to kill the infantry, but there's just too much. Oh, boy. Artillery's coming on in. Minesweepers, though, in place so that booby trap's not going to work. Panzerwerfer as well coming on in. Killing some of them on the retreat. Tigers pulling on back. No AT. Panthers coming on in to assist. S-285 not going on in. This would be a good opportunity. Try to get some shots in. At the very least now. Oh, there's a mine right there. Can we take a shot on target? Damn it. You missed. Nah, not enough to explode it. Damn it. Meanwhile, another push in mid. Cromwell going in balls deep. War speed, so we know he went hammer, not anvil. Unfortunately, realizing situations like, yeah, I'm out. I guess his idea was try to run them over. Not terribly a bad idea, but you want to do that when they're next to cover. That way you can kind of squish them against it. Meanwhile, infantry across the board is advancing. Armor's pulling on back. Soviets withdrawing. We are seeing a massive Allied retreat across the board. Army size for the Allies diminishing. Axis increasing. Near pop cap for Thunder. Not a ton of resources, though, so we need to build that up. But if he keeps his total armor and everything alive, plus keeps his infantry stable, he'll be doing pretty damn well. I think Sanguine needs to focus on something else other than Cromwell. I don't think it's doing that damage that it really needs. Katusha coming on in. Some shots bring down the health and bring down model, but otherwise not too much. Again, conscripts, everything kind of moving on in. So not too shabby there. Panther and Tiger, again, very low, but luckily the Storms will make quick repairs. He does have a mechanized building, but he hasn't upgraded it. That could be a bit of a mistake. If one of these units can actually head back and you get an upgrade, always good, because again, that way you can spread out the repairs and get it operational a lot quicker. Again, because then you can have it in a fight that could be imperative a lot sooner, like this fight in mid. I'm not saying it's going to win the game, but it is a fight that definitely having a Tiger or Panther in would definitely be beneficial. Panzer IV has already, well, died. Centaur, of all things, this Centaur is actually leading. I don't know why, but it's actually fighting mono-a-mono with an Oswind, because it wants to find out who is the better anti-air vehicle. All the engineers died, by the way. We're trying to repair because of the flak. Greyshot with the AT gun kills the Oswind. Panther, though, coming on in. AT gun repositioning. Panzer Grenadiers coming on the flank. Say goodbye to the Centaur if this all hits. Up, getting close. Cromwell coming on in. Mass barrage, not enough. Panther is, though. These guys still there. S-285 coming on in to assist. Panther giving chase. Cromwell trying to kill the units on the retreat. Alright, hell of a thing. He's going into the base. There is a Panzerwerfer up here. Cromwell could try to go for that. Smoke is dropped by the Cromwell. Still trying to, actually does run over a few men. Verkenwerfer, though, gets a nice shot and Panther kills it. I'm not sure how effective that was for him, but to me that was not very effective. Although, in hindsight, General did lose a good chunk of his units. Though, also the counterpoint, he's literally about to get another Tiger. we've seen his preservation suck, so more units probably the better for him, so that way he at least has an army. But Sanguine did lose a good chunk of his armor, and currently does have a ton of supplies to get another armored vehicle. So if there is going to be 2 Tigers, it's Ranger that's going to be needing to do this. Artillery's coming on in. He barely escapes through retreating. He's running as fast as he can, but does make it out. He does still have the KV-1, a decent amount of kills, and everything else, and they are holding mid, so a lot of resources are going to the allies and not to the Axis, which is a huge plus for them. Again, Obelsadon will probably be overwhelmed by the amount of infantry. Again, bad combo with the KV-1 and Vet 3 conscripts in the vicinity. MG's opening fire, pushing back the engineers. Obelsadon has a smaller chance of winning that battle. We'll see if they can. Bundle grenade going off, but he realizes the situation and pulls back. Double KV-1s. That's, again, a lot of armor and a lot of damage they can take, but they can't dish out a lot. Luckily, you have an Su-85 to do that, but will it be enough? British infantry opening fire in mid. Pensworth, though, returning fire, pulling them back. They'll take mid and stop the bleed, which, by the way, right now the Allies are on the back foot in terms of VP. So if the Axis can continue it, as well as with their new Tiger support, things are looking grim. I think the Allies have mostly been winning a lot more of the individual personal battles, but the Axis have been going so... fun fact, during the Russo-Japanese War, the Japanese would overcommit over all their forces so they wouldn't have reserves. So essentially, but the Russians, on the flip side, weren't expecting that. So they, like, essentially, even though they could win with a better commander, they still lost the battles because they just were in shambles because of their command structure. A lot more stuff behind it, but that's the gist of it. That's what I'm kind of thinking, except the Russians are actually winning. Or like in this case, they won the war, which they did. Japanese won. Mostly also as well that air battle. Jesus Christ, the AT gun and the sniper really going to kill a Tiger? The whole point, what I'm saying is, the Germans have been doing a lot better by overcommitting, but they're also losing a lot more men in the process, even though it would seem like they're winning. They're in the war-wise, they're not. I swear to fuck, if this AT gun kills the Tiger by itself with a freaking sniper, that's awesome. Hold, fire, or get something else to kill it. Panzer Grenadiers coming on in. Tiger somehow lives. I have no... Sniper might go for the final shot. Nope, he's going for the Panzer Grenadiers. I'm sorry, this sniper, the Tiger barely making out is just impeccable. Like, seriously. Tiger over here still alive. We have a Stuka. Panther took a lot of damage. And Thunderstroke is losing a decent amount. Maybe they might try to go for a strike here. Unsure. We have oh, wait, what? Is that Commando? We have a Commando coming on in. I don't know if they're going to hit this, but they do have the plane coming on in. Oh my god. That glider is... Look at that glider. That glider is intact. It looks awesome. Well, never mind. No, the artillery still hasn't killed it. Meanwhile, Tiger, they're advancing using Valiant Assault. Airstrike coming on in. They want that Tiger dead so fucking bad. Suppressing the infantry. Panzer Shrek. Is that Panzer Shrek? Yeah, it is. Barely missing the Tiger. Infantry is slowly being repaired. Again, they're being strafed right now by some planes. Will it be enough? Unsure. Oh, KV-1 goes into the base. There's a lot of AT, though. We have a Panther that could support from long range. Not going to do it. He's having trouble turning. KV-1 could get a rear shot. Does get a pen. And is able to hit that Tiger and do quite a bit of damage. So really good job there. Meanwhile, on the rest of the front, most of the other forces that Thunderstroke could deploy are redeploying to go deal with the KV-1, which is now just slowly leaving the base because this guy has no snares. Great plan. He does have enough fuel to get more armor, but I doubt he's going to get it anytime soon, just judging by manpower. So we'll see how things go, but not looking good. Not looking good whatsoever. Some nice long-range shots definitely put the Obelsadon to rest. Really good push there. Again, unfortunately, the British weren't able to finish it off, but looks like Ranger was. And he's doing pretty good. Near PopCap did lose quite a bit of his infantry. He's definitely lower, but a lot of it, the infantry still left, are Vet 3 with a number of good kills. So, not too bad. As well as some top-tier damage across the board. Sniper as well, my favorite, Vet 3. He actually got himself another sniper to assist, and I can see it. He is mostly 4-man squads, not really anything that can rush. Well, okay. Yes, he could rush, but so far he's been on a piss poor job at it because all these guys have Panzerschrecks, so against the infantry, they can't really kill. If they had MG42, that'd be a different story, but right now their weapons aren't allowing them to kill the sniper. MG's going to suppress them. I think they might want to try to guard the point, although British artillery's coming on in. Valiant Assault's going in once again. Just to, again, infantry is also being boosted, so they might be launching an assault. They are. The conscripts as well attacking, but there's a whole group of pioneers. I'm assuming they were there to heal the Tiger, but the Tiger died, so we still need to find use for them with something. Artillery's coming down. Does a little damage right there. Infantry might get some long-range shots. Will they kill it, though? That is the question. We could see a good, I was going to say a good run-over attempt. And again, good job getting the comment. At least he did realize the fact that the Cromwell did have the armor he was looking for, and at least was able to do something. Nice shots. Again, the fact that Commando Glider's still there. It's dead, but not broken apart is astounding to me. Ostwind, again, I'm assuming they're trying to shoot down the planes, but we'll see. P-47s are in effect. There's a lot of Soviet armor, and it seems like they're doing pretty well knocking out the AT gun. Panther moving on up. While they move on up, trying to defend. Tiger as well. There should be enough AT there to hold off the KV-1s until the Su-85 came in. Now that can do the damage, and that'll push back the German armor. So really good job, KV-1s doing what they do best and taking a brunt of the action, but dishing out decent amount of damage with the Su-85 in support. So, good job there. Royal Engineer Squad did die once again by Sanguine. Not doing too bad, as 22 kills with that sniper. I think it's his best unit, though. The Soviet Rangers' best unit is, I'm gonna say KV? Yeah, I think it's a KV. Yeah, not bad. Right now, Thunderstroke is definitely the one that's going to be trying to carry this game. I can already see it. General just keeps losing men time and time again. It is just unfortunate. Sniper, unfortunately, doesn't get the kill, but it doesn't matter. Sniper teams are doing very well for themselves and pushing back a lot of the German infantry. Katusha opening fire, trying to knock out the mortar. Does kill the, well, British plane, blowing it to little cheap bits. I don't know what the Ostwind's moving up for, but the mortar's dead. So at least good job trying to focus that. Snipers, I like this because he's telling them to just open fire. Brings down the overall, manpower and models of the units. Snipers dodge the Stuka. Unfortunately, AT guns get hit a little bit. That Stuka, by the way, is a Vet 2 with 34 kills. Not too shabby. 19 kills there, 18, and we got 12. So overall, pretty spread out. Double sniper could focus on the Ostwind as well. We could see that. They are camouflaged right now, so they're doing pretty well at trying to just survey the area. I think they just got a random kill on the ground. He's focusing on the plane, so they're not going to hit the snipers. Looks like we also have some guard troops trying to come in. They're probably going to retreat them with the Tiger being right there. They have to pull back, otherwise they have a chance of being one-shotted. AT gun, though, backing up. They actually have 2 AT guns that doesn't have to change position. Tiger, you're just in that sweet spot where you can actually hit both. The one spot you had to come in on. Cervix strike coming on in, annihilating the, oh my god, that one Pioneer squad just got eviscerated. And plane crashed right into the dead body, the other thing, which could have been, used for fuel. But, whatever. He has enough fuel as is. Tiger and Panther could push up. KV-1's hiding in the brush. Conscripts trying to push on in, but being overwhelmed by, well, the Panzer headquarters and everything else. Nice shot, though. Kills the Stuka. Really good maneuvering on the KV-1. Big, bulky, heavy tank somehow maneuvering extremely well to not only get behind enemy lines to kill armor, but also kill artillery. So, damn, good job. Tiger and Panther going in for a counterattack. Meanwhile, we have this Ostwind that's trying to clean up this British infantry section. Not entirely sure what he's doing, but there are AT guns, so we'll need to watch out. Okay, flying debris. There's a T-34 on standby. I'm assuming to overwhelm the armor when it retreats. KV-1s are taking the brunt. Su-85 dishing out damage, although Panther trying to focus it, but it's out of range right now. Still getting some hits, still getting some good pens, although Vet 3, so it's definitely a lot harder to crack. But Tiger's still engaging, still doing a decent amount. I wonder how heat rounds would do. I think heat rounds would be a lot better in this scenario. But at least for what Ranger went. Oh, good ram. He's been using, I mean, like, yeah, he may not be able to dish out as much damage from the KV-1s, but he's using very good tactics with this armor. So that ram was really good to make sure that Tiger didn't escape. Unfortunately, he probably can deploy another one very soon. Again, patch has not been released, so any armor can deploy immediately. When the patch comes out, it's going to take 2 to 3 minutes, I believe, for heavy armor to deploy, which will give him a little bit more of like, oh, should I wait 3 minutes or get a Panther right now? What should I do? That way you can't just don't spam armor constantly. General's probably going to start spamming armor again. Panzer Grenadiers trying to fight again, but they're versus Commandos, so yeah, I think we all know how effective that's going to go. Grenade being thrown. Can we get actually kill in the retreat? Does weaken him down, both to single men, so very good grenade. Really good toss. Tiger's on the field, because at this point, why not? We need a Tiger on the field. Well, at least it'll go in my thumbnail, maybe. KV-1s, again, they can take a lot of hits, and I really thought the Panther and Tiger would do too much for them, but no. I don't know if it's because they're spread out into 2 different units or what, but damn, doing a good job. Resource-wise, Allies doing extremely well. Stuka, though, coming on in, actually doing quite a bit. Killing engineer squad, weakening the armor. That was a fantastic first salvo. Let me double check to see how much damage that, or how much veterancy that did. Almost up to vet 1, so yeah, that did quite a bit. Unfortunately, though, positions have been decapped, so that's limiting the access capabilities for fuel and munitions right now. So they really need that point back in order to get some of their territory back, or at least the resources from said territory back. Tiger opening fire. We have a Panther moving on in, a second Panther being developed. Again, just a line of AT guns right now, and it's doing work. Panther did bounce a couple, although one penned. We have airstrike coming on in by Sturmovik strike. Gonna focus on some of the infantry coming on in. Vet 5, by the way, with 30 kills. It's a really good job there. They are managing to hold back. Shoot down the plane? Nope. S-285 trying to turn around. The thing is unfortunately blocking him. Luckily takes the shots, and Panther's unable to kill him. Although Vet 4, so we have to watch out for that. AT gun getting some... Oh, nope. Getting some nice shots, but no penetrations, unfortunately. They are recapturing this point. They'll still... At least at something. Or not. I guess they're ignoring that. Sure. Why not? Anyway, meanwhile, again, some defensive and laid down. We got another KV-1. So we have 3 KV-1s on the field. So if you really like the heavy tank, by God, you got it. Like, seriously. Panzer Grenadiers coming around the flank. Could do a lot to the Centaur, but again, it's weird how, like, literally smoke would help him out a lot. So the enemy, you can't see what the enemy's bringing up. Anyway, Katusha opening fire on the Panzer headquarters, trying to neutralize it. Sniper getting us some nice shots on target. Again, turrets disabled because of the special. KV-1's trying to overcommit. Trying to take it out. Zuko opening fire. Doing a little bit of damage, but not enough. KV-1's going to kill it. Again, they're just charging straight forward. Great shot. Tiger trying to come into support. May kill one. This one's pinned. Allies don't exactly have something that they can call in for smoke. That could save it. So, yeah, it's going to perish, unfortunately. Luckily, Ranger, that was the weakest one, so it's fine. He's like, well, you killed my first KV-1? I have 2 more to show you. But anyway, Centaur just annihilating the guys in mid. Very good against infantry. Vet 3 across the board. So good use of the armor and keeping them alive. Again, try to take over mid because right now the Axis are hemorrhaging VP points. Although, if they don't know it, but right now, army-wise, it's still pretty damn close. Though a big battle going on. White Foster's coming on in, causing them small issues like unable to operate weaponry. So they can't fire, but these guys are firing on them, so that's fair. Actually, it is, because, again, they could just pull back outside the smoke. So, then these guys can't fire. You can just unload on them while they are unable to do much. KV-1's trying to take him out, but unable to do so. Panther, armor-piercing rounds have been activated against KV-1s. I'm always a proponent of that, but there's way too fucking much in terms of armor and heavy armor to be specific. Pack gun opening fire. Tiger still trying to get some damage. Very close. One more pen would do it. Can actually. Yes, it does. The final shot goes to the KV-1, and there goes that unit. So really good job with that KV-1 real quick. 26 kills. How much? 6 vehicles have died to this damn thing. So really good job with that KV-1. Seriously, though. Meanwhile, army-wise, the Axis absolutely lost that fight and are definitely on the back foot. I wouldn't say they're done. They're seeking a decent amount of resources, so they still could do something. But unfortunately, by their performance, I'm assuming they're done. The Allies did very good at keeping their armor alive. Map control, I would say the Germans actually did a little better, which is surprising. I know the Allies are currently winning right now, but if we think about the amount of times the Germans cut them off, yeah, it was definitely helpful. I think the biggest thing was the fact that they just kept losing units over and over and over and over again so many times that I think just having a standing army with veterancy would really help you out, but unfortunately that just can't happen. I don't know why it can't happen, but it's just unable for you to keep units out for too long, General. Thunderstrokes again, another Panther out. So again, using those reserves he had. Panther coming in to try to pop some shots, but again, against guard troops, not going to do all that much. And the Su-85 is right there to make sure it gets pushed back immediately with another KV-1 on the way. Meanwhile, we have a possible push push on right, going after Panzer headquarters. They'll probably still deploy the Panther, but the KV-1 can still do a decent amount of damage over time, possibly weaken it, especially if the second one, cough, cough, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, is coming on in to help deal said damage. Meanwhile, battles going on in mid. Looks like German infantry is retreating for the most part and able to take the Centaur and the Comet, which is doing quite a bit of damage. Su-85 pulling back for a better defensive state. They do kill the headquarters, but the Panther is moving on in. It is the weakened Panther, though, so if they can pen it a few more times, they could kill it, but he's going to pull back just in time. Again, try to heal. Meanwhile, the Axis are going on a point where, again, I always say push on a point where the enemy isn't, and absolutely the enemy is not over here. So it does make sense they're going to push and take over, or try to take over this sector. Meanwhile, we have almost done trying to take mid. Again, keep the pressure on the Allies. We have a lot of armor pushing on in. If they can knock out that Panther, I think that would be a huge win. Because General has no... Okay, he's getting pack guns out. Finally, I think pack guns or long-range AT would have been better sooner. Combine that with Panzer Grenadiers, yeah, he would have a good AT force. Not good anti-infantry, he really doesn't. Which I think is also a big issue. Which is why the British and Ranger has so much infantry. Although he is losing a bit, but I wonder if he's doing that on purpose to get more armor. It's one of those things I'm like, I wonder if that's his plan. Meanwhile, we have a Panther just at base that just got healed. This one needs to swap out. Unfortunately, there's a lot of armor right now. Su-85 could snipe it. Does. Kills it. And, yeah, they're all going to focus on this Panther. I don't think they're going to win. Sniper pulling on back. The other one's still alive with 32 kills. They're opening fire on the Panzerfusilier squad, but it's not much. The other Panther is barely keeping itself together against all the KV-1s. Valiant Assault going in effect so that way they can recon the base and boost their infantry for faster speed and movement and everything else. So that's pretty damn good. Meanwhile, KV-1s are going into the base, opening fire on the Panther. And even though the Panther has a penetration win, unfortunately it doesn't matter. The KV-1s are just firing a lot of shots, so they can't bounce every round. So unfortunately it's just not going to fly. Pack gun's going to try to kill him on the retreat. We have air support coming on in, though, by the Soviets, push back the packs. And I do believe they will get out of there in one piece. Thunderstroke is left, realizing his army is pretty much kaput after that big assault at his base, and General surrenders. Alright, Ranger got most damage, and thank you, Ranger, for submitting this awesome replay. Again, most damage, but most kills goes to Sanguine. I would say that kind of makes sense. He was tearing apart, specifically General in the first part of this game, which you could tell his losses. Jesus Christ, man. Thunderstroke was easily the better player of the two, though. He actually has some good plays. Unfortunately, he did lose his army during those raids, so that does really, really suck. And he lost all of his Panthers. But overall, he still played decently well, and it's good flanks in there. Although I think retreating, specifically for General, should have been a focus. Sanguine, he had a good army. I think instead of getting so many Cromwells, I think the Comet would have been better. But I digress. You used it very well with what you had, and I think you had some good plays with the sniper and the AT guns and some good infantry combat. So there we go. Ranger as well. I think that you had your armor gameplay was top notch. Really good infantry. Not as solid as another player, but again, still really damn good. And General is probably the weakest link out of the bunch. I feel like it was just the point units because why not? Not because they really matter to the battlefield. Again, if you're going to pick something, or if you need something, get out sooner. Why is there pack guns in development? You should have had that way sooner to deal with the SU-85 and KV-1 and everything. But again, unsure why you didn't bring something up. But yeah, that's the game, guys. I want to thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna do some stretches. But otherwise, that's it. Make sure you submit your replays to greyshotproductions@gmail.com. Overall, if I had to give general consensus, keep your units alive. That really does help a lot. And as well, I think preservation is kind of the big thing in this game. Yeah, I'm gonna say preservation because the allies did it very well. Look at that armor, but Axis did not. Most of the armor engagements probably died. So, hot damn. In any case, guys, that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching. This is Greyshot17. I'll see all of you next time. Hello everyone, this is Greyshot. Before I go, I want to give a special shout out to Patreon supporters Josh, Milam, Joey G240, Just Thomas Plays, Spartycus, Rifle, JrChicklis, Pyroshark, Ion, Ollie, Ace, GTA, and Jakub Oswai. Thank you all for your incredible support. This has been Greyshot17 and his amazing patrons, and I'll see you all next time.